What's going on YouTube? Aaron here, and in today's video we are going to be jumping back into the Summer Wells case. Specifically, we're going to be talking about a theory that has been making its rounds and has found my inbox from several of you who have sent it to me, wanting me to dive in and talk about this. And that is a theory that kind of supports the idea that there was potentially an accident that occurred on June 15th prior to Summer Wells being reported missing later that evening. And this specific theory does not include dry drowning. I know it does center itself around the swimming hole. And I know a lot of people think that dry drowning may have occurred. A lot of those same people think that Summer Wells looks very, very unwell in this photo here that was taken from a video that was taken on the way home prior to them supposedly planting flowers. I'll be honest, I think I'm kind of mixed. I think at times I maybe am on board with the idea that she wasn't well in that, and that's just because of the reason why the photo was taken and them talking about her arm being in a certain position. I'm not in the camp that thinks that Summer was just absolutely dead. There are so many people that are talking about Summer looking just incredibly swollen in that photo, and that her lips and her fingers look just purple, and I'm just not seeing that. I think there are people that can analyze that know more than I do about the condition of a body potentially after it is passed, but I'm just not seeing it as so definitively as some of you are out there, and we all can agree and disagree on certain things with this case. One thing we can agree on is that the events that followed that photo are unknown, and so that's kind of what I'm getting at with the noise that's surrounding this case. And I'll get into the blue-green algae thing in a bit, but I just want to say that I think all of these theories are interesting, and we should definitely be looking at them. However, I think what we need to be doing is doubling down and really looking at what we know with this case. And what we know is that Summer Wells was with Candace and Grandma in the morning of the 15th. We know that they went to several different locations after picking up Hunter. They did go swimming. We have a video of that with Hunter in the image. We know that they supposedly went to Sonic afterwards. I think it's pretty much confirmed that they went to Priceless because they had the groceries in the back seat that appeared in that video. These are things we know. And in addition to that, I think focusing on the people that were definitely with Summer that day makes the most sense. And we need to look at the behavior of those people and judge kind of what's happening based on that behavior. And so we know Candace and Grandma were with Summer that day. Of course, Hunter was for a limited period of time. I'm going to kind of push Hunter to the side right now and just focus on Grandma and Candace. What do we know from Grandma and Candace? And then I guess we loop Don into that because he entered the situation at some point later in that evening. Well, what we know right now is that there are disputes between Candace and Don that have been happening as of lately. Obviously, we've had recorded domestic disputes prior and after the fact as well. We have Grandma that has effectively gone radio silent. I know that she's come forward, I think, in one way or another to speak, but not necessarily in the way that Candace and Don has. And I think it speaks volumes, the fact that so many other names of people have been pulled into this story. And a lot of it is from the mouth of Candace and Don. And to me, silence says a lot, but also speaking that much and saying so many other names says even more. It's people trying to point at other people to get the attention off of them. The spotlight absolutely should be on Candace and Grandma because they were the two that should know the most about that day. And whether or not they've told the truth or not, that's for many people that are following this to believe. I think the fact that they are being so loud in every direction but amongst themselves, and their efforts seem to be completely not in finding Summer. I feel like, and look, I don't know what they do with their day. They may go out and look for Summer and we're just unaware of that, but I don't think they are. I think they're getting drunk and high and fighting with each other and pointing at other people and pulling so many other people into it. Michelle After Dark is a wonderful channel that I follow. I almost watch her every morning. She's in the UK, I believe, so her videos come out super early and I watch them, and she gives amazing recaps. She put out a video, which would be yesterday now by the time I post this, that talks about all of the people, just all of the different names of people that are kind of involved in this. And I think she does an excellent job of talking about the family ties with the people that are in the town and in that area specifically, and why it's probably important. She talks about the many different names. There's so many Dons. There's like 5 or 6 Dons. And so it just goes to show that this case is so incredibly hard to follow. There's so many people that are being mentioned that probably have nothing to do with this. It also is a very alarming thing that so many people that are mentioned have a record or a history with child P and domestic abuse, all of those different things. None of that is good, and it doesn't help make this situation feel any better. But I think that there are so many names that she included that truly have nothing to do with this. And I think while it's important to look at all the names, it's important to look at both, the family and the friends and how they may connect and overlap in this story. I think we're getting lost in all of that. And I think it's pushing the focus and it's spreading it out, and it's muddying up the water so much that we're not able to see clearly at what probably is right in front of us. I've talked about this in previous live streams. I think that this case is about to boil over. I think with all of this tension between Don and Candace and them kind of essentially cornering themselves and just defending themselves as opposed to working together to find their daughter, I think something's about to slip. I think something's about to tip this case in a direction, and certainly I hope that for the sake of Summer. While I want to say it's very important to look at all of the different theories and possibilities of what could have happened, this blue-green algae situation, I think to me, is a bit of a stretch. I want to go through this video and react to what toxic blue-green algae is and how it truly can be fatal. But in my research initially, I'm finding that I don't think East Tennessee has too many reports of this toxic blue-green algae. They definitely have reports of certain blue-green algae, but they have not listed too many areas where it is considered toxic. This is the kind of stuff that I think takes us maybe further away from the truth. This could have been a possibility, and I think like I said, it's important to look at, but I don't know. I think, like I said, we should be focusing on what we know for a fact.
So we have hot, warm summer conditions, not much rainfall can form blooms, and we have this massive growth of these algae, and they can become problematic for a variety of reasons. So they're really distinctive. They're very black, brown in colour, shiny black brown, and they also have a very distinctive earthy, musty smell to them. It's a neurotoxin, so it affects our nervous system. And just a small amount, so about 1 tablespoon can be enough to kill a small child or a dog. So it's really, really important that people who are at rivers know what to look for and keep their children away, and especially if you've got dogs, because these dogs are attracted to the earthy, musty smell of the mats. So really advising people to get familiar with what these mats look like and to make some really informed decisions about whether to use the river or not.
Okay, so another thing I want to refer to is this article from 2019 saying that UT, so I assume University of Tennessee, microbiologists are saying that toxic blue-green algae is not in Tennessee. They say that there are small amounts of blue-green algae in East Tennessee, but at this time it has not bloomed into a toxic bacteria. Obviously, we are looking in East Tennessee. This is kind of where this all takes place, but they are saying that it's not yet toxic. And though things could have changed in the last couple years, I'm not thinking that this is something that probably carries much weight in the story around Summer Wells. And in fact, a lot of cases in water that isn't moving, like the river they were talking about in the last video, that's moving. In water that is a lot more still, you're going to see it a lot more. And so it sits on the surface, it's gunky, it's green, it would get on your skin. And so had Summer and Hunter started to swim in something like this in an area where it was built up on the surface of the water, I just think that they probably would have not continued to swim. And so I'm no expert in any sort of blue-green algae or algae in general, but I look at what I see here. I'm not seeing that experts are saying that it's super prominent in that area. Had there been an article that says East Tennessee is riddled with blue-green algae, maybe I would have been thinking, there could be something here. But thank you to the people who have sent it to me. I enjoy people sending me information both around this case and other cases that we talk about here on this channel. If you do want to send me anything, my Twitter DMs are always open. Those are linked down below. There's also a Google form down in the description if you want to send me anything around this case. And yeah, if you're watching this, I'm probably going to be putting it out on Thursday or Friday. I'm likely currently traveling across the country to begin filming for my documentary that I'm currently working on. So I don't know how active I'm going to be on YouTube over the next week, but please like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for future videos. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.